Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to today's SEO Q&A with me and Mr. Chris Palmer, SEO, who needs no introduction. As I've said a million times over, I'm actually sick of introducing you as Chris Palmer SEO. I'm just going to call it Chris now. Fuck it.
All right.
We don't need to tell anyone who you are. People know. But do check out ODYS. If you're interested in age domains, they even do done for you websites, all of that stuff. You can get $100 sign up bonus just for checking them out. So go and check out the marketplace today and see what is available. But whilst we're waiting for people to come in, people do ask your questions in the live chat. We will go through as many of them as we possibly can in the time that we've got. Try and be specific with your questions. Questions like, what niche should I enter? Or how do I make money online? Please do some fucking homework, guys. Do something. Give us something to answer. Please do not sit and wait for all to be laid on your lap. So, yeah, ask us specific questions is what I'm trying to say. Facebook user, hello. Not sure who you are, but yeah, it's not showing your name, but hello anyway. Zishan, good to see you. Holly Starks is here. Looking forward to next week, Holly. Going to see Holly in Nashville, Chris, at the Mastermind Mansion. And then we're going to SEO Underground. Me and Holly are on the same flight. Even got my seat parked next to Holly for 8 hours on a flight from Nashville to London, where what better place, what better person can you sit in a flight from Nashville to London and pick her fucking brains for 8 hours?
You'll talk about everything but SEO.
Yeah, we probably will. Just chat. But yeah, looking forward to it, Holly. It'll be amazing to catch up in person after a few years of COVID. So I've always enjoyed Holly's company, and very much looking forward to SEO Underground the following week. Randy is here, and obviously SEOunderground.co.uk. There are still tickets available. Get your asses there. We are 2 weeks yesterday the event is. So come. Palmer's going to be there in person. Palmer, have you booked your flights?
Booked the flights, booked British Airways. Booked the room. What's that?
When do you arrive? Monday?
Monday. That's correct. Yeah.
Me and Holly both land there maybe 10 a.m. Monday. So
yeah, I forget the exact time, but I am getting there early though. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Amazing.
You're not staying at the Radisson though?
Yeah.
Oh, you are? Okay. Did you see the upgrade? Did you take the upgrade for the air view? You did, right? $30 upgrade to look at
to look at the runway. No, I didn't.
No, come on.
Dude, I don't fucking
$30 extra.
Come on, I don't like flying. I don't want to see fucking planes coming in.
For $30
Holly's saying we'll be there at 10:40. Holly's staying in a Radisson. My wife is not coming. Palmer, is your wife coming?
No, just me.
Just
free for all for the champ.
I'm not sure if that's a good or a bad thing.
That's good.
But hey, so yeah, anyone out there, please do come to SEOunderground.co.uk. There are still tickets. You've got amazing speakers. Chris, Holly in the chat there, Peter Van de Graaf, and a few others. I can't remember off the top of my head. Hopefully Paul Hogton. My brain's just froze. But there are a whole bunch of speakers who you want to be listening to. So it'd be amazing. Also, before we go into anything else, and I know some other people have got things, they're saying stuff and all that, I've got a question for you, Chris.
Yes.
So talking to Randy earlier today, who's in my mastermind, and he came up with an amazing question. I said, fuck it, I'm going to throw it to Palmer to see what he thinks. So we get... Sure. So me and Randy know what we believe in. So root domain name,
okay,
or subdomain name. Now, we're not asking which one you should go for. 90% of people, or 99.9%, will go for root domain. But do you see there been any handicap of using a subdomain name over a root domain?
No.
No handicap?
I mean, it depends on the root domain, of course, but I don't think there's that much of a handicap. No, I think it depends on what it's being used for. Like if you're trying to put a store on it, it's good, but I don't see any. No, I don't think there's any handicap. It depends on what it's attached to, of course, but no.
Let's see. It's got no links, no nothing. Is there a handicap subdomain or not? You know,
I mean, if there's nothing there, then that is a handicap. Yeah, if you're starting brand new, I mean, it sucks, kind of. Yeah. Is that
no, what we're trying to?
I always feel like you're trying to trick me into something.
No, we're not trying to trick you. We're not trying to.
Like, oh, fucker, I got you.
No, not like that. I wouldn't do that publicly. But nah, what we're trying to establish is, if you had to use, can you rank a subdomain name really fucking well?
Yes.
Right. That's basically it. He just wanted to know, is there a reason why we wouldn't use a subdomain over the root domain? Obviously, it looks nicer and you know, there's all these arguments, but he was just wondering if there was a handicap of using a subdomain. Like, you're not maybe going to get as much shit going on, but
he's been missing our group. We just tested that. It does pretty well, actually. It did really well because you can get the exact match, or you can get location. It's good for stores. I like them, but there has to be something established already, usually, to find quick success over here for us. Everything that I've looked at. Because I like
you agree that is what we came to the conclusion of. Like, I don't feel there's a handicap, but I was like, fuck it, I'm going to throw it to Palmer and see what he fucking says. Fuck him.
No, I like him. I like him.
But Giorgio is here. Colin Byrne has watched a lot of recordings, so he seems like he's friends with us.
Awesome. Thank you.
Listen, the amount of people that have said to me, Craig, like, you've been on in my living room, and then they meet you in person, they're like, I feel like,
I know you.
I don't know, it just feels really fucking weird. So, and I've been that, I've watched people at Holly. I've never met Chris, by the way, for anyone else out there as well, but I feel like I'm very good friends with him, and we go on with. But it'd be amazing just to have a beer.
Yes.
And yeah, but anyway, Paul Hogden makes a fucking amazing point. We're going to be at the bar, not the fucking runway, Chris.
That's fair. Fair enough.
Hopefully you are as well. But Thomas the Train, Toys and More. On Ahrefs, I am ranking for a competitor's brand name plus keyword. Why is this?
Entity association. I mean, is the website, do you talk a lot about that? Have you created a lot of images or press releases, or including your brand plus that keyword? There has to be mentions of your name with whatever the keyword is, whatever the toy is, or whatever the item is. So, I mean, if there's a lot of co-citation out there, I could see that you do well on your site for that primary keyword plus your brand. Yeah, it's the only thing I could think of, really, though.
Yeah, I would agree.
Or their brand, I should say.
Back to the SEO Underground, the speakers, Jonesy, William Jones, good friend of the show, is going to be there. It will be very, very interesting to see Jonesy talk and what he's got to do. Interesting guy. Doing
giving up the YouTube method. Huh? That's what he said. I'm holding him to it.
I bet you Jonesy never thought he was going to have me, you, and Holly in the fucking one room with him. We'll just get him in that fucking headlock. Yeah, we're getting that YouTube method, Jonesy, if you're listening. So Jonesy's there. Terry Power, very well known over in America. Great guy. Magic PR. Majid Hussein is the guy behind Magic PR.
He's in it.
And Holly is saying, if it's topical relevance, then it doesn't matter what the domain is. That is, I agree 100%. To answer your question, Holly, this is a dumbass answer, but the UK doesn't use the same EU plugs for hotels either. So in the UK, so from the US and you go to the EU, a lot of countries in the EU use this 2-pin thing.
Oh yeah.
Us in the UK have a fucking 3-pin adapter. For you need the UK specific one.
It's like this, right?
Yeah, it's like a fucking
turn like
triangle.
a house.
Yeah. It's fucked. So
Hmm.
I'll buy you one, Holly. I will buy you. I've got them, so I will sort you out. I better remember and do it now. I don't want Holly to come see Craig, you prick. Give me your fucking stuff you promised. But yeah, I will sort you out, Holly.
So the hotels do not have a regular plug for me to plug my iPhone into.
No. Well, maybe
Well, that's a
Radisson
good piece of
London does.
information, Paul. That should be on the homepage. Bring your plugs, boys.
Dude, when we come to America, we have to fucking come with a different thing. Like an adapter.
like a handy belt. Like I got this. I got my.
So everywhere's the same. But yeah, Holly starts saying it's the TR on the page that matters with the update. Anyway, Maeve is here. Good to see you, Maeve. You should come to SEO Underground. It's close for you, Maeve. I bought 2 for SEO Underground. Do any of us know what we're talking about yet? Do you know what you're talking about for SEO Underground, Chris?
Oh yeah, I know what I'm talking about for SEO Underground. I do have to make the presentation, the dreaded presentation. I know exactly what the bullet points or I know what I'm going to share, but I didn't make it presentable. Plus, after the last time, I want to practice. I'm going to practice it a few times instead. Like YouTube, you just wing it. I'm going to practice this one. I'm going to practice this time.
You're also speaking at NFG.
Coming up here. He's going to give me the time slot coming up here soon, he said.
I've got mine. 12 Eastern time.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm thinking that'll put the fire under me to have the slides for NFG, and then I'll have the presentation down pat for rock stars, and then I'll have it underground, and then I'll have like the full craziness for underground or the rock stars. I keep getting those two confused. Which one do you think's the best?
You know, it's difficult to say what's the best. Like rock stars, you know, there's bigger names. It's different audiences more is what I would say. You know, for me, rock stars, I was meeting a lot of people who I've seen online, like your Clint Butlers and fucking, you know, legends of the game like that, and a whole host. Holly was there, and so on. When I first went to rock stars, so for me, the fucking level of knowledge in that room, I really had to up my game for rock stars. You know, in terms of an attendee going there, you ain't, you know, you were in a room full of the creme de la creme of the, you know, what I would consider to be the best people in the SEO industry, or some of them. SEO Underground is probably going to be kind of similar, probably just slightly smaller. So you're going to be coming to the UK. Are you going to be talking to some schmuck from an agency who doesn't know what they're doing? Absolutely not. You know, you are going to be people coming from all over the UK, and Holly will know some of these people like James Dooley and all these guys who are very experienced guys. They're not public facing, but you're not going to get away with talking basic bullshit to these guys. So again, it's like, and you know, they're all looking forward to seeing you and Holly and all that stuff. So, you know, what is the best? Again, I think, you know, with the speakers we've got what I would consider to be very, very smart speakers. You know, Paul obviously makes the speakers, but you've got Peter Van de Graaf, you've got Madge, you've got Holly, you've got yourself, you've got Jonesy, and Terry Power, and all this stuff. You know, all of these guys are offering different stuff, amazing fucking value. Whether you like them or not, you know, is irrelevant. I think you're going to be picking up a lot of knowledge. But when I look at some other conferences, I see speakers who are trying to sell from stage. I see speakers who are talking stuff that's very, very basic. So these events that you know, SEO Underground, Rockstars, and NFG, you know, the attendees are not
Beginners.
low level. So,
Right.
you know, you can't sell your fucking bullshit to these guys. You know, we can't be going and saying, you know, guys, let's buy all these fucking nice PR links and you're selling them some niche edits. They're going to know it's a fucking niche edit. You know, there's not. You get what I'm saying. You know, you can't fucking pull the wool over their eyes. So you know, I think that keeps us on our toes as well as speakers and stuff. You know, that's why I went to. And I think you watched the recording when I went to Rockstars. I'm like, fuck this. I am fucking going all out and I'm going to put my bollocks on the table and give them everything.
Well, they gave you a spin last time, but the one before that, I believe, when the NFG and Rockstars were together, that was
the one.
That was good. Yeah, that was good.
That's
what got me. Like the Birmingham one I watched because that was online.
Yeah.
And when I saw that one, I think that was what, 2015?
No, right? That was 2019.
Oh, I saw another one too. You had a couple fire ones though. You had a couple really good ones. Yeah.
So, yeah. So you know, when you go there, you have to put your balls on the table. So, which one's best? It's.
Do I have to?
Dude, you can't.
Do I have to put my balls on the table?
You know, you can't stand on stage and let's say you talk a little bit about local.
Yes.
Or let's say you're talking about YouTube, for example, and you've got Holly Stark's eyeballs looking at you. You can't be going, hey guys, you know, do a bit of this bollocks and fucking. You're going to get called out. You'll be like, come on, man.
I'm just sticking to what I know, in and out. Yeah.
Stick to what you know.
Yeah.
But I blew the hotel when I came to Charles's thing. All the power was out for hours.
Oh.
Yeah.
How many people, though, after Holly Starks' talk about YouTube, started putting 7 tags in their YouTube videos, though? I bet you everybody. You start looking, I'm like, oh boy. Yeah. That was a good one. I remember that. She made like a nice checklist for the boys. I like that. That was good, man. I have that still. I have that in a PDF somewhere. Anyway, I'm sorry.
No, listen, all good. And don't forget, guys, we are also 240 volts. Holly's going to be speaking about the new phone project she started. Was there not something about laptops as well, Holly? Or is this,
is
this the new phone project? I've seen the pictures. I've just not dug any deeper, but I am not sure exactly what I'm talking about. Again, I can't remember what I've said to Paul I'm going to be talking about. I wanted to see what you guys were talking about before I was committing to anything, because, as I say, I'm not going to be talking about fucking phone tricks, or not that I do any kind of great stuff with phones, but you know, I'm not going to do the same talk as someone else. Is what I was trying to do. So,
would you, if you were going to multiples, would you have a different talk for each one?
Yeah. Well, it depends. It depends. You know, you know, the last couple of events, have I regurgitated some of the stuff that I've said at previous events? Yes, of course I have. You know, talking about buying and selling digital assets and things like that. But in my experience, you know, when you go to certain events, you can't. I would hate to be the person that keeps using the same talk over and over again. I've been there, I've watched speakers, and I've been like, I've seen that fucking story 4 times now. Come on, guys, give me a fucking new story. Even just fucking put a spin on it or some fucking thing. At least kid me on. So, yeah.
So if they're all back to back, like these coming up here, you have a different individual slides for each one, different topics, different tips.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
I hate slides. Like there are certain speakers who use the same set of 2 or 3 slides, and you know, do that talk over and over and over again. For me, I don't think that's right. That's just a personal opinion. I'm not criticizing anyone, but let's say fucking Holly Starks, for example, she rocks up on stage and starts telling us about the fucking phone shit that, you know, she's spoken about, sold courses on. She's spoken about time and time again. She comes here and I know she is kind of going to be talking about it, but it's a new project. There's different stories, right. And you know, she's talking about It's how to reverse and boot someone instead of putting them in. It's laptops, all this stuff. So she's always adding in extra stuff. It's got to be, Holly's saying she mixes it up. I would be disappointed in Holly. Just as an example, by the way, Holly, if she was only ever talking about the one thing, what I've liked about Holly over the years, she's talked about a lot of different things. At the conferences I've personally seen Holly at, at Shanghai and over in America and the other ones that we've been able to speak at together. So I think it has to be mixed up. Otherwise, you just be like, what the fuck's the point of going to see Holly Stark if she's just going to keep repeating that same one story, So it's got to be mixed.
How's it going?
Sam Charles, hope you're well. Harry Minch, I fucking love this name. I will never forget Harry Minch.
No.
Never. I have bought an expired domain and recreated exact same content. How many months is best to leave it? I really want to make 301 pages as soon as possible, but do not know what quickest time is safe to do this, Chris. So when it's indexed and that's it? Is that you ready to go? What's your thoughts on it?
Well, I would be wildly. So you bought an expired domain that was actually expired, like not auctioned, or maybe it was parked even, but you just bought one and you hit on that one like that. So what I'm coming to find is if say you go out and you buy 200 domains, right? And initially they look really good. Oh, let me just answer your question. I'm sorry. Within 30 days, you're going to know. Once you actually set up the initial asset, you run the backlinks that we're pointing at the domain through a indexing tool. I heard Omega's back up and running. I haven't tested it yet, but
I've not. But yeah, that is back up.
Yeah, I heard they're back up and running. Or say Index Now, or you use Sinbite, or whatever you're using, right? You run the initial backlink profile back through there. You set up the initial pages, right? However they were. The probability of every single one of those referring domains coming back, it just isn't true. It just doesn't, So, and I have hundreds of domains, literally. And I would say if you buy 100 and they look great when you're buying them, they might have 8,600 referring domains. They might have, DRs and trust flows above 30 or 40. The anchor texts are clean, like everything is perfect about it. And you're like, oh, that's its steal. You go and get it, 20 out of 100 are going to be hitters. The rest are junk. So my best advice to you would be go out there, do it. Cause really $100's $800, $900. Take your 900, grab 100 of them that are really good. Do your homework. It'll probably take you 3-4 days to do it. Get them all set up, get them laid out, pay somebody to put the themes in or however you're doing it, get them set up, run the profiles through an indexer, and then give it time. Give it 30 days, give it 3 weeks. You'll see right away, like the links will start showing up. You'll get a big bulk of them all at once. And then like week 2, week 3, it'll start coming. But 80% of the time, it does not regain its previous glory. Not from my experience. You'll get some of it, and the metrics will be good, but man, it's a fun game. It's fun. So the answer is give it 30 days.
A long-winded answer, Harry, but hey, it is what it is. But I've not got much else I can add to that. Like, I totally agree with what Chris is saying. And yeah, there's nothing else I can say. There is no trick to make it any better than what Chris has just painted. The picture is as straightforward and simple as that. Do I still do this from time to time? Yeah, of course I fucking do. There is power to be had. But yeah, I think take on board what Chris says. I think he's hit the nail on the head with the way that he answered that. And at first, I couldn't get to the realization of why certain domain sellers were charging such a premium for when you could see the backlink profile and you could see it was dead. They bought it, the links re-indexed, and now it's up for sale for 3 bands.
Yeah, but to get that domain, they had to buy 100. So now it makes perfect sense. So it's very fun. It's a fun thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or maybe less. They might have a better. Maybe I'm a bum at it. I compared to some people, I'm sure, like, I don't have like special customized tools to catch them as soon as they drop and like all this crazy stuff. But yeah, at least if you're a regular SEO guy that's trying to, catch an edge, give it 30 days, buy them in bulk, set them up, get them set up from the Wayback Machine. That's the quickest, fastest way. Buy them, set them exactly how they were. Just switch out those links to wherever you want to point them. And that's it. Let it rock. Good luck.
Anyway, Mark Rose is saying, I saw SEO Underground getting a bit of a slating on Twitter. I mean, I think Twitter SEO would slate anything that's going. I mean, I've not personally seen what the slating is or whatever, but obviously Black Hat, it isn't for everyone. And people are entitled to their opinion and whatnot. So it is what it is. It's a Black Hat conference. There's going to be certain people that say, "Oh, these guys are fuckers," or they talk shit or whatever. Nature of the beast. And it's going to, I think anyone's going to say that as well. People say it about Brighton. People say it about Rockstars. People say it about this, that, and the next thing. SEO Underground, only the first one was last year. And it was the first event in the UK pre-COVID. I thought it went very, very well for what it was. It was a small conference. So how people can have an opinion on it when they weren't there, because I could almost guarantee you that the people that are slating it on Twitter were not at the event. So what reason would they have to slate it if they weren't actually at the event? They don't know what went on. They don't know how it worked. They don't know how the presentations were and so on. So I think obviously just the way the world is, people have always got something negative to say. And yeah, it is what it is. But for anyone who does see any of that, bear in mind, guys, these people have not been at the conference or slating it. Palmer was there via video link. He couldn't make it, couldn't fucking physically fly in. Yes, not an ideal situation, but we went to the conference. We got people back out the house. We had some fun. We had some beers. We shared knowledge. And that is the bottom line. So what SEO Twitter say, who cares? Someone in SEO Twitter will say Craig's a dick. Doesn't mean it's true. Probably right in that instance, but hey, it is what it is.
Yeah, they got it. Time. What's the time to hate, not create?
Yeah.
I have something to do.
Whether it's I don't have any more to say on it. It's one of those things. No matter what, you've got haters. You've got people that hate your guts. Holly's got people that hate her guts. I've got people that hate my guts. Listen, life goes on, and and Holly and all the other people will be having a beer, chilling, sharing knowledge. We'll get our fucking YouTube method out of Jonesy,
Yes.
and who's winning at that point? The cranky guys on Twitter saying "Yous are all dicks," whatever, or us sitting there getting Jonesy's fucking YouTube method. I know what I would rather be doing. That's all I'm going to say.
That's it.
And Dune is here. And Holly knows the YouTube method. Holly. And does it work?
Yeah, does it still work?
Does it still work?
Yeah.
Peeps be whiners. They are losing, so they get cranky. And I was always told, whatever other people think of you is none of your business.
It's good.
It's the only way I'm ranking on YouTube right now, Holly. I'll be speaking to Holly next week, so I will see if I can get it out of her. Can't promise anything, but if not, we've got two plans of attack, Chris. We go for Holly and Jonesy. We've got someone that might leak something.
Double whammy.
Yeah. But guys, you are slow with questions. We want to answer your questions. We don't want to talk about negativity and all of that stuff. So give us your questions in the chat, because we don't want to be talking about what Twitter SEO think of SEO Underground. It is irrelevant. And free advertising. But Chris, while we're waiting questions coming in, obviously you've went through the journey of building yourself up over the last few years, now speaking at conferences, you've done your YouTube shit. Are you finding that there is just cranky people no matter what, or how do you find it? Because obviously I think Holly will be able to say she's had crankies. I've had crankies, but just curious to
there's well, now there, no matter what, there's, but I think that the people that you help outweigh the amount of people that are like, you suck. I get way more like, hey, thanks for helping me, good job, than I do. I try to drown that stuff out anyway. So
best way to deal with it. Terry Power is looking forward to it. Terry, great to see you and looking forward to sharing a beer again. I met Terry at the 2019 NFG Rockstars. That was another contact I met at that. Live IRL fan is back under his normal name. Chris Ranking Method, Holly Ranking Method, and William Ranking Method. We should have a fight and see which one of you three wins.
Not mine. I lose.
I like Chris's ranking method yesterday. I think it would be more effective on playlists.
Yeah, it definitely works while you're running it, but it is what it is. It has to stay running. I'm pretty sure that I'm very confident there's other ways to do that pretty easily, but I don't know. I think there's better ways. I really do.
Nice Poeki or Nice Poeki. How many businesses do you guys work with that are trademarked? You ever work with some trademark companies, Chris?
Not trademark companies, but like companies that had their name trademarked. Yeah, that's a lot. It's not that, for $350. I think quite a few that I've had, they trademarked their name. So I don't think there was anything special, not that I remember. Just lawyers and terms that you're allowed to write and stuff. It was interesting, but nothing I could think of.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a question that I look at too much. Like, how many of you guys are actually trademarked? But over the years, I've probably worked with a whole bunch that are trademarked. However, what I have found, I'm not sure why you're asking the question to angle it properly, but I remember I once had a client who was selling weight loss pills and that type of thing, and they wanted in there, this was for their Google ads and stuff, just to give you a little bit of insight, and they wanted to put in there, next day delivery by Royal Mail on their ads, just so that it was like quick delivery of the pills and all that. And because Royal Mail was a trademark term, instantly the ads just get disapproved and stuff. So working with trademarks do have complications in terms of whether Facebook ads, whether Google ads and all that kind of stuff would allow you to even fucking use the name in an advert. That is problematic, and I'm not sure if you're coming at it from that angle or whatever. Obviously, the likes of Royal Mail can use their own ads. They've got special, it will work for them specifically. They can use their own trademark, but for Chris Palmer to throw Royal Mail in there, his ads are going to get disapproved. But I think obviously where trademarks are concerned, seek proper legal advice if you think you're going to be treading on someone's toes. Because I had Apple after my ass for simply using a fucking Apple logo in a wee laptop on a cartoon picture of me. So I have fought against these things as well. So, but yeah, if you give us more background of the story, we might be able to give you a much better answer. Holly's saying make your own phone farm, Chris. You ever considered that? I know you've fucked around a lot with CTR and you know the emulator and all the stuff that we used to speak at back at the start when we first started talking.
Oh, yeah.
You ever considered this phone farm stuff?
I've considered it. It's just a seamless way to automate it, though. Like once you get more than, say, 10.
Yeah.
That's kind of a pain in the behind. I wasn't able to successfully pull it off.
Holly Stark, still no way to automate iPhones. I'm going to make the assumption it's a no, but she might say yes. But talking about the phone farms thing, I was talking to someone, and I can't remember who told me it, but they were like literally in Vietnam. There's a shop that literally has all of these phones fucking nailed to the wall, all around the fucking shop, and you just go in there and you do shit and then fucking walk back out. Like, how cool would that be to have such a shop and where you're based?
That would be sick.
You could make money from that.
Perhaps. How much would that be? Wouldn't it be that too hard to pull that off? Would it? How do you sell that though?
A cheap shop and a whole bunch of mobile phones with some cheap SIMs in them.
Come on in.
Come on in and do your shit. But you really need to do that in an area where
big city maybe.
Yeah, big city, New York or some shit like that. Then
that could work.
It might be worth it. £10 gives you an hour in here, and you can fucking do what you like on these phones.
Yeah, I could see that. You set them all up and then hire, somebody in school. Hey, after school, come in and your job is to fulfill these orders. Here, stand here and do this. I don't know. It sounds a little tricky.
No, I'm talking about you have the shop and you can literally just, like, you as a human being can walk into this shop and you go in and just do all your direction requests on all these fucking different phones. And then you leave. Insanity. I know that seems like a lot of fucking hard work, but
yeah,
that's what I'm visualizing in my head when someone was telling me the phone farm shop. I'm like, fuck. Imagine getting in there and just going in and doing all the shit.
Yeah, there has to be. I'm sure that there's an automation. Actually, I'm 100% sure there's an automation, but how do you automate more than 10 or 20 or 30 or 40? I guess you would need individual systems for each. It's kind of tricky.
Each chunk.
Yeah, each block.
Terry Power talks about cloud farms. Have you played around with any cloud farm stuff?
I have. Yeah, there's a lot of providers out there.
Are they effective in any way, in your opinion?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, but you're still limited by being the processor of the action. So, I have access to hundreds and hundreds of phones, and yeah, I could put in any IP I want, but then who's going to operate them? Or if you can run an automation, well, how can I automate or set up all 750 phones? Yeah. That's where, there's tons of cloud providers out there that give you access to hundreds of phones, tons of them. But still, you log in, even if it's cloud-based, you're still in there. How do you automate them all? How do you get them all to work together? I don't know. Maybe somebody smart out there will know soon.
Yeah, certainly not going to be me. I don't have the abilities to pull something like that off. But hey, someone please do it. Live IRL fan is still going on about music artists. Get your fans to do it. Sadly, for plumbers and Joe Schmoes of this world, we don't have fans to go in and promote our plumbing services. But yeah, it makes sense in the kind of music industry for potential fans to go in and, I don't know, listen to their shit or whatever. But even by default, I think if you're a music artist and you whack out a number one hit, people are going to be listening to that shit all over the world, on Spotify, YouTube, all of these things. So do you need a phone farm at that point? Probably not. But I can get it from a small artist perspective. You can manipulate a lot of stuff there. So Yeah, leverage the fans if you're a musician. Not sure what that says for Joe Schmo the plumber, though. What fans he's going to get. Get your relatives to leverage it in a shop, maybe. But Connect SEO, Staxio, all my links created died. Got notifications today from one Gmail account.
Wow.
What? From one Google account. So, do you use Staxio, Chris? You had a problem like that? And if so, how did you resolve it?
I don't use Staxio. One of the things that I heard that I noticed there, though, was from one of my Gmail accounts. I would assume, though, if you were utilizing a tool, it would be more than just one account with multiple assets in it. I don't use Staxio, but I know a lot of guys that do, and it's really cool. But no, it's not for me.
So he's saying, is the same thing going to happen to Yaks? I don't think any of us can speak for Yaks without being Yaks ourselves.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, I think the big thing is you don't want to be using one email account for any kind of setup, whether that's
anything.
Yeah, for anything, you know, anything, even just a fake persona, you know, just it has one email, one account. That's it. You know, segregate that shit out. So, here goes. Akib. Dude, your name's Akib, but your email reads Rakib. Doesn't smack of trust, but genuinely, dudes, promoting that in there.
There you go. You got your promotion. Send Craig a check. There you go.
I'm not sure how many people are going to reach out to you on the back of this just because you've done this. I don't think it's the right way to promote you.
And you're using a Mac. So, you know, it's over for you, bro.
No, I'm a Mac user. I'm a Mac user. But nah, dude, you have to do better than that to win SEO business. I would be absolutely astounded if someone emailed you and gave you work based on this. You have to do more, and obviously, I think that's a big question that a lot of people ask: where am I going to get leads from? Where am I going to get this and that from? Try and Harry Minge. I need to rank number one for Harry Minge. Can you help? Let's see.
Who does rank for Harry Minge?
I ain't Googling that shit, man. You try it, Chris. You Google it.
Okay.
That exact spelling.
M-I-N-J. Let's see here. Oh, man, that's classy. That's good. That's good.
And what about, Chris, if you Google nice poeki? I dread to think what that is. I'm going to Google that one.
Exotic tropical freshwater aquarium fish.
Nice. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Guppies for sale.
There you go. Yep, rare guppies for sale. The other one was a lot more fun. It was like RuPaul's brother or something. I don't know who that is. It looks cool, though. I like the hair. It's freaking awesome.
Jeremy Grove says, the Minge top man, Mingita. But yeah, guys, you are slow with the questions. Give us more questions. Ronald Osborne, good to see you, mate. Hope
last week was on fire. It was on fire last week.
Yeah.
Right? It's like one on, one off, one on, one off.
Yeah. But give us questions, folks. We will happily answer them. We do have 16 minutes left. Now we can continue just chatting about general life. I could talk to Chris all day. But we want to answer your questions. So put them in the live chat. Do give us a little like in the video if you are watching, or a dislike, whatever. If you don't like the video, just so we know. But any engagement is good engagement. But Chris, you know, I think it was live IRL fan says that your YouTube method, you know, would work well for playlists and stuff like that. Yeah. Are you still trying different methods, or are you just hoping that Holly or Jonesy slip up and give us the fucking method?
Well, I've been trying different things out. Yeah, I like that idea that he just gave up. I don't know about I haven't tried it inside of a playlist. That's actually quite interesting. That could potentially be fun. But the thing is, though, is I'll create a new Gmail and I'll set up like a campaign because I don't want it to be inside my main stuff. So I'm always starting with like a new channel or a semi-new channel. Or sometimes like I have a few clients that I've had a long time and I'll say, hey, you want to try something out? And they'll say, yeah, go for it, So then I could use those sometimes. Like some of the last ones, like I tried links in every which way. That was lackluster. I did like the watch time, watch minutes. I tried every single SMM type thing. The best thing that I figured was like you could buy like 1,000 hours. That was the only thing that ran for me. So you could buy like say 1,000 hours or 4,000 hours or 20,000 hours, for relatively cheap. While that time is accruing, the videos perform very well even on brand new channels. So then I started going for like, crypto type terms, cool crypto terms, different types of crypto terms, just to see how it would perform. They did very well. They didn't hit number 1 or number 2, but 3, 4, page 1, and then really on top of that too, the only thing I noticed with the links was they performed very well out on Google. I also noticed distributing it through different RSS feeds can be wildly helpful for Google as well, for YouTube. So the Google aspect is relatively easy to lock down. The YouTube aspect for long-term success is the part that I have trouble with. Short term, I could get them to rank, no problem. But after that first week or 2 weeks, it's tough. Unless you keep spending dough,
Out with, like, Jonesy has categorically stated that he doesn't want to fucking share his method, right? Like, we know that. But who the hell out there in the world is sharing good YouTube information? Are you watching anyone that's giving up a lot of information, or is it the same old CTR shit that we're hearing from everyone?
Pretty much the same stuff that we started talking. Like we've been talking about that stuff for a while. It's pretty much the same. I don't go hunting down for YouTube, mostly for like maps, but I haven't seen anything that like really made me go crazy. Have you?
Nah, I've not. I've not actually seen that many who offer up anything more than what we already know. So, and I get it. I 100% get it. Why would you? I'm just curious if there is a YouTube SEO guy who's dropping the odd bomb here or there. What's Mr. Beads? He ranks using suggested and recommended. So Live IRL fan Daryl Eves advises not using search. But is he an SEO? You know what angle he's coming from. But yeah, I just want a guy that's dropping bombs, testing shit out on YouTube, who's maybe a little bit more advanced than us as SEOs trying to do it on a kind of part-time basis, if you like. We're not claiming to be YouTube superstars, but
it's like that's their whole mission. Yeah. Yep.
But Ronald has a question. Why? I think it's for me. Why do you not play with Google cloud properties, Craig? Why do I not play with cloud properties? If you're talking about the likes of StackSEO and things like that, the truth of the matter is they don't fucking work. Is the truth of why it's kidology. Now I'm not saying they've never worked or I don't want to be seen to be demeaning anyone's tactics as such, but I just don't see they're worth the time and effort. Let's be honest. And for me, as an SEO, I want to do shit that works well and moves the needle. I ain't interested in fucking around with cloud properties if they're not going to do anything for me. So that's the truth of it. I'm not going to sit here and try and make you believe that they do work, or they give you a 1% thing. I think we asked Chris last week or the week before, and Chris was of the same opinion. Like he's tried it, he's done it, and thrown every fucking property around there that's probably humanly possible.
For fact,
does it actually have an impact? Some people argue it does, some people won't. So it's that's just my opinion on it, man. But Nikhil, what would happen if I want to change schema for a specific web page? So let's say, are you talking about, Nikhil, you've got schema, it's maybe FAQ schema and it's pulling through and all that kind of stuff, and you want to change it? Like, what do you mean by changing it? Like, take it off, add more schema, different type of schema? What is it you want to change? Just so that we can obviously answer it appropriately, because why would you want to change schema on a specific page?
But regardless, though, even if you wanted to add it or you wanted to take it away, it would be so minute of an effect. Depending on what schema you added, maybe. I mean, if you really went ham, perhaps it could have a negative effect temporarily, or maybe a positive effect temporarily. But I don't think just changing it would have any issue. I don't see any issue with that. But let's see what he's cooking on.
Yeah. Whilst that comes in, Connect SEO met a YouTuber yesterday with 2 million subscribers. What would you do for him? Chris and Craig off the bat would be asking him what the fuck he done to get 2 million subscribers. I don't think we'd be doing anything for him. We'd be saying, what can you do for us?
Yeah.
How do we get on your show? How can we get some of that tour?
What's up with your web presence? Maybe I can help you with this. You help me with this.
I don't believe in being able to offer that guy anything. He's beaten me, and
definitely beaten me.
So, yeah, not much I can say on that. Terry Lee's vidIQ and channel makers are where I get a lot of info to help rank my content in suggested and recommended. YouTube Shorts algorithm has changed also. Monetization is coming very soon. What I have also noticed is that you're now allowed to use copyright songs on YouTube as well. So there was a blog post about that I seen today or yesterday, that's also the case. You don't have to use that garbage music. You can actually put on better
actual music. Wait, I thought that you got paid on the shorts. I didn't know. I never really noticed. I thought you did get money for the short views. Am I wrong? I've never
looked to
yeah.
I
did that first,
I get paid from YouTube for AdSense, yes, but what that
$200 a month
it constitutes to, I have no clue. So yeah, I don't look into it, but it'd be nice if we got some money for our shorts as well. But shorts seem to be doing okay. But Nikhil was the fella with the question. It's in a things to do keyword. Google is showing its own results as top sites and listing some locations. Do you think using locations in my article for the things to do blog would help ranking?
No. Maybe for maps. I think for the if you wanted to rank for, if that's the term you're going for, things to do, and you wanted to list things to do, yeah, that'll help you. But if you're trying to rank for, say, I don't know, Denver plumber, like there's no reason for you to have ice cream shops, museums, statues on that page, in my opinion. It should be geared around dentistry, things that you do for your customer, and how you can, primary on that keyword. So if you're trying to rank for things to do in a particular area, definitely talk about that. But if you're trying to rank for, dentist Denver, then I would steer clear. Now, if you just have a one pager, or you have like, say those an orphan type page, with only header navigation, and you're trying to do really good in maps, then you might be able to start tying in other locations to get a little bit of a lift. But as far as organic, you'll get rocked. You got to stay on point with the optimization.
Cool. And no, it's the first time there's actual monetization on Shorts, Chris. And before you get a split from a pot and earn like $100 for 10 million views. So
I never even.
That shows you how much we care about YouTube monetization.
Yeah,
I don't do it for monetization as such.
After that first month after monetization, like I was like, wait a minute. Like I was thinking, like I thought YouTube was like this. I thought it was like crazy. Then that first month, it was like $128 or something like that. And then it goes up to like I think my top was like a 420, 480, something like that. It's not insane. Yeah, no.
Nah.
Maybe if you're getting millions of views, then I could see you really cooking.
Yeah. Alfred is saying, is your main link building approach expired domains these days? 301 or rebuild the site with unique content? I mean, Chris, go for it. You go for it.
I think it's one piece of the equation. I mean, I still like to set up Web 2s branded. I still like to use that as a tier 1. I still use comment and image links, but primarily what I'm looking for is guest posts. I still get a few niche edits. It just depends. Pricing is getting a little out of hand lately. And then another piece is, trying to set up websites, actual websites that can get real traffic, that are going to be niche specific, definitely, for sure. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I can only really reiterate what Chris has said. You want to mix up your link building techniques. Do not just build out expired, doing 301 redirects or building the site out. You can do both of those, but I think there's a lot more to it. You've got Harrow, you've got guest posts, you've got niche edits, you've got other ways of earning links or getting links. So keep it balanced, mix it all up. Do not rely on one type. But Nickel, the schema question, he has existing advanced schema, but as now he's optimizing his content within links, and they're suggesting to put their schema on there. So if he has existing schema and InLinks, which I will confirm is a very fucking good tool, what would you do in that situation?
Well, I would just take a quick look. Of course, the tool provider is going to want you to utilize their schema type, right? However, if you take a look at the @ symbol, breadcrumbs is breadcrumbs, video object is video object, fax is fax. So just take a look. Is what they're recommending different? Because if you spend a lot of money to get your custom and it's already set up and you have a system, if there's anything you're missing, just add it. But in order to switch everything over, if you already have it, you have it, man. So it's really up to you. But look and see what their recommendation is, and see, are you missing something? Or is there a cleaner or something? Is it in an actual order? Because schema is supposed to be in a specific order. If there's this cleaner and better, and it has more, and it's just copy paste, then go for it, man. But it's up to you at the end of the day. Just look and see the actual types that they're recommending.
Yeah. Connect SEO lost the stars in the SERPs on his Duda website.
Well, I mean, it depends on which page. There's clear guidelines to setting up, stars. Whether it's product or whether it's review or however you're getting the pop, I guess product or aggregate rating of some sort. So there's specific pages you're supposed to have those on, and I think that's the only, I think that's the only schema penalty you can get, right? Is messing around with the reviews. So yeah, be lucky it wasn't some sort of a penalty of sorts on that page. Tried Merkle, did nothing. Merkle is just a schema generator. It's pretty cool. It's free.
A live IRL fan is surprised your revenue is that low, to be honest, Chris. He would have thought that SEO content would have a high CPM.
Yeah, 1, 2. I don't go in there. I'm friends with another guy. He does YouTube. His name's Ruan. He has an agency called Developmark. I talked to him a couple times. Like, hey man, like, what's up with this? I talked to Chase, and like, there's a few things like I don't do. Like, I don't go in like and analyze each of the videos to see. Okay, like if you use the word Google in a title, it'll spike up. Like, I don't go in there looking to chase the higher. I forget what they call it, RPM or whatever.
Yeah.
And then on top of that too, I don't put mid cuts in either. So I know that can double. I just let it do whatever the heck it wants. Because it's so, like what am I going to irritate people for another 10 cents? Like, just for me, it's just, it is what it is.
It's not, it's you're very much like me, Chris. I'm not doing it to make the money on YouTube. It's not. That's not what it's about. It's obviously brand awareness and all that stuff. So, knowledge demonstration, etc., etc.
Exactly.
But last question. Connect SEO saying tried Merkle, it done nothing. Which do you use, Chris, for Schema? Is there a generator?
I might pronounce it wrong, but Schemantra is what we've been utilizing. It does a really nice layout. Unless there's a plugin, most of the clients unfortunately do come with WordPress. Not unfortunately, but they usually have WordPress. So usually we use whatever the plugin has, Schemantra if we want to add extra stuff. But 9 times out of 10, I'm just analyzing the top competitor. And depending on whatever they have is what we're going to utilize. So like if I'm looking at the top 5 and they have, breadcrumbs, law office, fax, whatever they name the web page, video object, image object, that's what we add. I don't go out of my way to get a page of Schema. And the only reason is because you're going to pay that billable hours for creating Schema, it doesn't move the needle. So like, I'm going to go charge this dude $6 to implement Schema on 4 pages. He ain't gonna let me bill him again. He's gonna be upset with me. So I just don't do it. If I'm gonna allocate budget and time, it has to be something that's gonna definitely work and it's gonna produce an ROI so I could get to the next month and catch a check. That's the honest truth. It has to produce dollars for the business owner, or I do not do it. And Schemas doesn't do it. Yeah.
But finally, Nikhil, before we wrap up, I wouldn't be waiting to add new content. Your website's been ranking for 2 weeks in position 15. It's 3 months or whatever. Crack on, add more content, do your job. It might stick and stuff like that. That doesn't mean you wait to see if it moves up anymore before you add content. For me, the job keeps going on, keep rolling stuff out. So continue cranking out the content if you can.
And that's another one too. Like you'll proposition a business owner on like, okay, we've done the normal things, but when you go for billable hours, like, better make darn sure that it's gonna move the needle, man. Like, oh man, yeah. I've learned these lessons the hard way. Only go for the tried and true. That's all I can. That's my best advice.
But guys, sadly, we are out of time for this week. People were piling in at the end as normal. But hey, it is what it is. But so we will be back same time. In fact, Chris, I can't do next week because I'm traveling to America on the Wednesday. So I will be back in 2 weeks' time. Well, we might not even be back in 2 weeks because when do you come home from SEO Underground? On the Wednesday or Thursday?
I believe on the conference, and then I'm going to stay a day, and then the next day. So I think it'll be the 7th. I'll actually be home on Friday.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll keep you posted when we're back. Make sure that it's not interrupting anyone's travel plans as such. But do check out Chris Palmer SEO on YouTube, on the internet, wherever you want, and do check out ODYS, guys. And we'll catch you all soon.
See you next week.
See you later.